Hello. So, what I want to share with you today is what I consider to be the greatest concept and tool that we have when it comes to feeding our children. So, before I dive into it, I just want to share a little something that happened last night with my kids. So, I was getting ready to set the table for dinner, and we decided actually the Dodger game is on tonight, game one of the playoffs. And we're a big baseball family. So, we're like, yes, we're going to watch the game. So, I was finishing putting together the dinner, and I called one of my kids who was in the other room, and I said, hey, if we want to watch the game in the other room with dinner, then can you please come help me carry everything in? He's like, well, what if I don't want to help you? Of course, right? Okay, well, what if? So, what I sometimes go to is wanting to take things away, wanting to say, then we won't eat in there, then you can't play video games tomorrow, then, or to say something really crummy about, well, then you're just not helpful and da da da, right? For sometimes my brain wants to go, and at times it does, by no means a perfect parent. And sometimes I say things I wish I hadn't said. But instead, I just took a breath and I said, nothing. It just means you won't help. That's all. It's like, what? Yeah, then you just won't help. Okay. So he walked away, walked back about 20 seconds later and said, Mom, I really want to help. I was like, great. Thank you so much. And gave him a couple things. And then he came back and said, is there anything else I can do? What else can I carry? All him, right? All him. So, what is this idea then, right? We need to apply this when it comes to food as well. It's the fact that we have to completely disengage from any battle and detach from the outcome. I didn't know in that moment if he was actually going to help, but here's the thing. If we get into some sort of battle, with our kids, they're often going to get back in the battle with us. And then it just becomes about us versus them. So this often happens at dinner time and they say, I don't want to eat that. And we say, well, at least just try it. Or how do you know you don't like it? You should just take a bite, right? We try to convince them to tell them why they should do it. But instead, we can just say something like, it's okay, you don't have to eat anything you don't want to, and just go about eating your dinner, right? If we want to get them to do the thing that we think they should do, whether that's helping to move food into the other room, or whether that is for them to take a bite or whatever it might be, right? If we want them to do that thing and we have a lot of like, right, gumption towards we got to get it to happen, we really want to push them towards that, they're likely going to push back even more against us. So the best thing that we can do is totally disengage. So we actually are giving them a greater opportunity to be in alignment with that end goal. And it doesn't mean that it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't mean that we're actually going to get the result, but we're giving them a better opportunity to do it. My kid could have said, I don't want to help. Okay. But if I had battled with him about it, and he would have ended up doing it, he probably would have resented me. He would have been angry. He would have been stammering around to do it, right? Or I could have tried to bribe him with something to do it, and then he just becomes more people pleasing, right? So when we can disengage, we actually are helping them get in alignment with the very thing that we're hoping they move towards, right? Which is maybe their willingness to explore and try new foods over time. But if we push them, they're only going to push back against us. I am hoping this is making sense, right? So the biggest tool that we can do, or the biggest tool that we have, right, is to do two things: to disengage from the battle and then to detach from the end result. We have to decide that this is about the process of feeding them. This is not about getting them to do any one thing. And that's where we give them the greater opportunity to feel good about food and to eat from that place where eventually they're going to want to try new foods, where they're going to be able to tune into their body cues, where they're going to be able to self-regulate and eat a variety of foods. Okay. Okay. I hope all of this makes sense. And if you feel like you could use some more support with this, let me know. You can send me an email, right? You can comment right here. Let me know. I offer a handful of eating alignment calls every month, and I would love to chat with you about it. Talk more about your current situation, see what's going on, and then let you know about some different opportunities to get more in-depth support if it feels like a fit. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.